Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to my ongoing series of reviews of the Best Picture nominees from 2022. And this one I am very, very much looking forward to talk about. And of course that is CODA. Written and directed by Sean Hayter. Nominated for 3 Academy Awards including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actor for Troy Kotsur. Now, this film is a adaptation or even a remake of a French film called La Famille Bélier, which came out in 2014, I believe. And also, we have to look at, to kind of cue us into what this movie is about, we have to look at the title of the film, which serves as a double entendre. One for being an acronym for Child of Deaf Adults, and the other for being, the actual coda, which is used in musical notation to dictate an extended passage of music. So really brilliant, that title, just on its own. But this movie itself, I think the thing that was a problem with the French film, I haven't seen it, but they cast all hearing people to play in this deaf family, which was really met with criticism by the deaf community. But here in CODA, you have the legendary Marlee Matlin, who's just very acclaimed in her own right, and bringing Troy Kotsur in there as the father, and I forgot the other guy's name. Daniel Durant, he's the guy who plays the brother in the movie. Couldn't forget about him. And of course, at the center of this movie, we have Emilia Jones as Ruby, who really is the central character of this film and the protagonist we follow. And kind of as we see how, the perception of her family is received by her peers in school, and how that affects her social life, and also just finding, watching her find her passion for music, which is so beautiful, and kind of spearheaded by her music teacher, who's played so beautifully by Eugenio Derbez.
My name is Bernardo Villalobos. Bernardo. If you can't roll your R's, please, don't embarrass yourself and just call me Mr. V.
And really, it's just one of those great coming-of-age stories where you can kind of see where the beats are going, this film, but the characters are so well written, the conflicts are so well outlined, that you just want to see them succeed, this is a film I saw with a friend of mine, and obviously it was on Apple TV, but we just wanted to go to the theater, and this was playing at an independent theater not too far from us, and so we decided to go see it, and I was just beyond moved. Really, as soon as I came out of it, it's one of those movies where I was like, I want to show my mom this, and I did, and she ended up loving it, just if you were wondering, and I do too, because this is, look, if this came down to me, if the decision were up to me, I think out of all the nominees, this should be the one to win Best Picture. Really, it has everything you want from a Best Picture winner. An inspiring story, memorable characters. It checks all those boxes that, a movie like, let's say, for instance, My Fair Lady is memorable in that sense, even though you could even argue the merits of that. Or, let's say, Amadeus. Obviously, very different movies, but, it has a quality of a Best Picture winner. Do I think it is going to win? Probably not, but I will get into that in another review, but I absolutely think it should, because this is the thing, it's so well written, the character interactions are just hysterical. I mean, the chemistry between this family is just so great, and just watch, like, there's one scene where Leo, played by Daniel Durant, he's going through Tinder at the table, and Marlee Matlin, who plays the mother, saying, "Oh, Tinder's something we do together as a family." It's just so bizarre, just their kind of outlook on certain things, and it makes them feel so lively, and just they're such colorful characters, and of course you have the whole situation where they're working out on the fishing boats, and they need Ruby to be able to, steer them in the right direction, and kind of be able to have them work on the sea, because she's very integral to the whole inner working of this family, and maybe a little much so, and that's where the beautiful conflict comes in with this movie where it's like, yeah, they were fine before she was born, and now they kind of use her as a crux in all these situations. And the fact that she's, just in high school and has to deal with this, and so torn between wanting to actually pursue music and her loyalty to her family. I mean, really, it is such a compelling conflict. And just on the note, I mean, obviously I've already sung my praises for the cast a little bit, but Amelia Jones, this movie is going to make her a star. And what she has to do, not only did she have to take voice lessons for this, she had to learn ALS all on her own. Well, maybe not all on her own, but she had to do all the work. And really, it shows, because this is one of the most genuine, most authentic performances, especially all the awkward interactions she has in high school. Like, it literally, especially being in choir, it felt like that was all coming back to the forefront of my memory. And it just felt so genuine to that experience. She is just so incredible. I thought she should have been nominated for Best Actress, but, we can't always get what we want. Stiff competition this year. I'm not too upset about it, but I think she was deserving. And then you also look at everybody else around her. I mean, obviously Marlee Matlin's great. We all know that at this point, if you've seen Marlee Matlin in anything. And as I already, said, Daniel Durant, he's great too. But Troy Kotsur, who was actually nominated for this performance, in some way, he's like the second heart of this movie. But then again, I could say that about Eugenio Derbez, too, who I thought should have been nominated for an Oscar. I think maybe him or Emilia Jones gives the best performance in the movie. He is one of those teachers that you want to have in your corner. He's strict on you, but he cares. He knows exactly what to say, what to do to get out of his students, and just played with such brilliance and such passion by Eugenio Derbez. I saw him in a movie, I think it was Miracle from Heaven. My mom wanted to see it, and I was just like, all right. And that movie wasn't that good, but I saw something in him. He played a doctor in the movie, and I was like, this guy could give a really, really great career-defining performance. And then I saw CODA, and I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. Just a brilliant, brilliant work that I thought went overlooked when it came to award season. But obviously, I'm so happy that Troy Kotsur is getting all the recognition he deserves. And obviously, competition's a little tight with Cody McPhee and The Power of the Dog. But I think Troy Kotsur could win. There certainly is a possibility. And at least in my book, him and Ciarán Hinds from Belfast are really the only two that I think truly deserve to win that award. And really, there's a couple scenes between him and Amelia Jones at the end that are just so moving. Just incredible what he's able to pull off. And also, I have to give props to Sean Hayter to, the language barriers or the communication barriers, I should say, between this cast. What she accomplished directing these individuals is just astounding, really. I mean, obviously, it's not one of those movies that's super flashy in the way it was filmed, but just getting all these people together and being able to pull off, such chemistry between all these actors is such an accomplishment, and what a wonderful feat. But really, I think this is one of the best casts of the year. If it won the SAG Ensemble, I would be beyond overjoyed. But really, just the soundtrack, too, is amazing, because without the music in this film, especially, it's funny, a movie being about deaf people, the music is so predicated on the success of what ends up happening. And I also think, the fact that they don't understand music really adds another layer to the conflict where, that's all Ruby, lives for, is music. It's something I can very much relate to. And they just don't know what that is. And it's just so kind of heartbreaking in some way to get that. There's a beautiful scene, I won't really give it away, where they kind of highlight that. And it's pretty affecting, and it gives you perspective for sure. But I tell you, I mean, so many great songs in here, and every time, I don't know what it is, maybe it's just her, but every time a Joni Mitchell song is used in a film, it is like the most cathartic moment of the entire movie. Without getting too much into it, you'll see what I mean if you watch this or have seen it. I was almost moved to tears. I mean, it is so memorable. That's all I will say beyond that. But really, this movie, it hugs at your heartstrings and at all the right moments, but it feels so true to its characters and so true to the narrative. It's just one of those films that I hope doesn't get forgotten about in the years to come, and I think really what should be the front runner for Best Picture. CODA is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Please check this out. It's on Apple TV if you have that, and obviously I'm not plugging any kind of ad for them, but it is only $5 a month, which is pretty cheap, all things considered. But really, if you just get the subscription for this, it would be worth it. And I hope Criterion comes out with the release of this in the near future, because I'm going to get that as soon as it comes out. Really, one of my favorite movies of the year. So yeah, that about does it for my review of CODA. I mean, have you guys seen it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Really, as I said, absolutely lovely film. So if I hear any slander, I'm going to be talking back hard. But really, if you guys like what I'm doing here, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. I'm going to keep bringing more of these Best Picture reviews to you. And I think up next is Don't Look Up, directed by Adam McKay. So be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay on the lookout for my list of the top 10 albums of the 1990s coming to you very soon. We'll see you guys soon.